can't match that story, but we all have our own story.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I want to thank Bev, because she is through Bev that I first heard. Well, my daughter had a show for her at her home, and of course I went very skeptical because I have been in multi-level marketing on 3 different occasions and broke the bank. And of course, they were all American companies, and I vowed I would never, ever, ever get involved with the business again. Never say never. God's in control. And so anyway, at my daughter's place, I became the guinea pig. And well, maybe I should give a background history. I just 2 years ago next week, I lost my husband very suddenly. So I'm maybe teary-eyed. And you don't realize how much you miss your spouse until he's gone. And I've had to struggle financially since then, but God has been there with me every inch of the way. And my church family's been there for me. It's just been amazing. Anyway, when I got doing the demonstration, I had, as well as losing my husband and going through all that, just a year ago, October, September 1st, September 25th, I had surgery for a bowel resection. Got out of the hospital a week later, and within a day ended up in Toronto emergency with a perforated bowel. I was in the hospital for 10 weeks. And in 4 weeks of that, I was in isolation because of picking up an infection. You talk about how you could be depressed. But again, my church family were there every day visiting me. Believe it or not, every day except Thanksgiving Day, I had somebody from the church visiting me. So it kept my spirits up. And of course, my daughter's just been amazing. Anyway, I'm sorry. I get like that when I share. As I said, I went to Kim's party, and then to help her out, I decided to have a show. I don't like doing shows because I have a hard time getting people to show up. I only had 4 people show up and only 1 person bought. But out of that, I still got shows or sales afterwards. And my biggest buyer is right sitting there with me, Barbara. I don't know if she's hearing me. Barbara? She's my best customer. Anyways. I actually put on Facebook on our site that she said they're like walking on air. I think she said, "Get me another pair." Anyway, so making a long story short, when I realized the cost was just $40 to sign up, I thought, what have I got to lose? When I joined Amway, when I joined the other companies, it was hundreds of dollars. And plus everything was American Exchange, and this was a Canadian company. So I kind of jumped into it because when Bev tested me, first of all, I never had much, I couldn't turn beyond there with my neck. And when you're driving a car, that can be very serious. I've had arthritis for many years. I've had one knee replaced. The other one fortunately haven't had to have done. But I could never get down on my hands and knees, you know. So I had a lot of issues. Sitting in church, I had to have my opus form, you know, just so many issues. And then just before my surgery, I fell at the school where I worked as a lunchroom supervision. And then while in the hospital, I fell backwards in the washroom and hit my head, and miraculously didn't have anything seriously happen with me. So since I've been wearing the socks, I have noticed a vast difference. And so I, like Lee shared, everybody goes at a different level. For me, because of finances, I can't go big time, but as I have the money, I buy one more piece of equipment. And my first month, less than a month, I had over a $400 order, just talking one-on-one with people. So for me, that's working better. And this week I was discouraged because I had already been set up to do the local hospital. And they called me back and said, "We can't let you do it because it's a conflict of interest." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "Because we sell compression socks to our staff." I said, "Well, this isn't just for the nurses, it's for the people, plus patients coming through." Well, it still coffee. So anyways, I wasn't satisfied to just sit there, so I called back yesterday and talked to somebody else. She said, I'm gonna look into it and see if we can do something about it.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
I'm praying
Good.
but I didn't let that just deter me. I thought, well, if I don't get that one, what else can I do? And all of a sudden it hit me. My daughter's been very involved with Leathertown Festival in Acton. So I called, and lo and behold, there's an opening, so I'm going to do Leathertown in August. And in October, I'm going to be doing the Christian Reform Home, Holland Homes in Brampton, in one of their homes there. So I'm getting there slowly but surely. But just to share what it's done for me, it's my balance has been one of the big things. My chiropractor said, Jean, if you don't practice your balance, you're going to end up having a hip break or something, and then you'll be in the hospital. Better to take 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there a day, than to end up being flat on your back. And of course, he had me in a corner, and I'd have to, I'll hold on to this, but put one foot up and count to 10. I couldn't do it. And I noticed the other day when I practiced with my socks on, I was able to go to at least 5 without stopping. So that's an improvement. I just don't want to forget anything I was going to say. I haven't had any falls since I've been on the socks, which is amazing. And oh yes, last week I lost my key fob. Have you ever lost a key fob for your car? And the other key fob, the battery was dead. And I had a doctor's appointment coming up the next couple of days. Yeah. Fortunately, somebody in my church took me down and got me a battery and for the other one. But I searched the house. I searched inside out and backwards, couldn't find it. And I thought I'd remember putting it on a counter somewhere, couldn't find it. Yesterday, so I went under the bed, and I've never been able to get down on my hands and knees for over 20 years. I got down on my hands and knees and sat there looking under the bed and was able to get up again. That is a miracle for me. And I don't know if this is relevant or not. I've had really bad problems with cholesterol this past year. My last blood work, it was way down. And I'm hoping that's got something to do with it. I don't know, I'll find out maybe this week when I go back to the heart doctor. I don't have any major heart issues, although I had a minor blockage last year, or 2 years ago, and so I just wanted to have it checked out. I don't want to miss anything that I had written down. The other thing is, as I said, I work at the school 3 hours a week. I was supposed to be doing every day, but the doctor put me down to just 3 days a week. And at first I was working outside, so of course in the winter I had my boots on. Within the hour I would be exhausted, absolutely exhausted, because I'm carrying a bag now, colostomy bag. So and I've got the hernia underneath it, so it causes extra problems. And I would just be so drained. So I got the brainwave of putting some insoles in my boots. The next day when I put those in, I could not believe the difference. I didn't go home tired, exhausted. I felt like I could still do some work. I've been able to stand longer at the sink without getting backaches and all the rest of it. So those are all things that have helped me. And I just want to encourage I don't know how many here are not already part of Voxx. A few of you. I hope you'll take the challenge and sign up today with whoever brought you. And go at your own pace. If you haven't got the money to spend to do the $600 order, so be it. But just do what you can. But I'm learning that talking one-on-one, just coming here today, I had to stop at Cogeco. And I gave out my card to the 2 people standing behind the counter. The other day, I went to pick up a plant at a friend's house in Brampton because I was in Brampton for something else. And I just said, I happen to have a new business. And she said, what is it? By the time I finished talking to them, they bought 2 pair of socks and a pair of insoles. So for me, the one-on-one works. I was just talking to my friend in St. Catharines today, and she's going to promote my business on her website. And if I go there for a weekend, she'll probably let me have it to a show as well. So there's little ways that you can, make it work. I talked, because I'm a senior, I talk to seniors. And if I see anybody that's crippled up, I will talk to them about it and how the shoes help and the insoles help. I think I've covered everything. Yeah, I think I've